What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, back again with another video, and today I'm here with my WWE Monday Night Raw review for June the 20th, 2016. This is the Monday Night Raw after a pretty damn good Money in the Bank pay-per-view. We have a lot of unanswered questions from last night's show and a lot of excitement, so let's not muck around, let's get straight into it. And so we start off the show with Dean Ambrose coming out of a cab, and he pays the guy, and then he's like, oh shit, hang on, and left his world title in the back. So yeah, that was really cool. And then he comes out to the crowd in Phoenix, Arizona, and a big pop there. And then there was something I noticed. There were two podiums that had SmackDown and another one that reads Raw. So yeah, they're bringing up that brand split pretty early. I think it's like in a month away or something like that. So Ambrose comes to the ring, there's "You deserve it" chant, and he's pretty much soaking in the atmosphere. And he said, oh boy, last night was a long night in Las Vegas. There was some stuff I don't remember. And then he mentions the Cleveland Cavaliers winning the NBA championships from the Golden State Warriors, and which draws boos. I'm guessing they're Golden State Warrior fans. And he's like, hey, don't worry, I don't even like those guys anyway. They look really tall and scary. So nice save there. And he's pretty much, saying, hey, everyone, yeah, and Rollins is calling himself the man, Reigns is calling himself the guy. Am I the dude? Yeah, he calls himself. And then right after that, the
big top
suspended dog, Roman Reigns, comes out, and the crowd just absolutely loves him. I'm just kidding. Boos, of course, it's Roman Reigns. And by the time I'm recording this, I have found out that he has been suspended for 30 days as a violation of the wellness policy. Roman, you silly bugger. Oh boy. So yeah, the big top steroid monger and dog comes out, and he says, last night it wasn't my night because last night was your night. And so they're like, yeah, Ambrose, fuck you, Roman. And so Reigns says, I don't care what the crowd thinks, this is my boy. And then there is a "you can't wrestle" chant breaks out. Reigns is like, yo, to all the dudes chanting "you can't wrestle, take a sip of your beer and shut your mouth." So, Jesus, yeah, that's something a babyface would do. Tell the fans to shut their mouth. Good job, Roman. Great stuff. So then Rollins comes out, and he's not happy. He's like, for 7 months I've worked my ass off to get back, and I achieved my dream to beat Reigns, and then you steal the championship from me. And Reigns is like, well, it doesn't feel too good, doesn't it? And so Rollins is like, what I did to you, I did it to your face. I didn't attack you from behind and all that. And so there's a whole lot of arguing going on. So Reigns tells Rollins to stop complaining, and that there's an easy way to settle this. Drops the mic, gets in Rollins' face. So we're probably going to see a squabble between the two until Shane McMahon comes out. And, everyone's going crazy for him. And he says, look, I congratulate Ambrose on not only winning the Money in the Bank, but becoming WWE World Champion. And as far as the other two are concerned, there's a simple solution to see who's going to face Dean Ambrose. So tonight, we're going to have Rollins versus Reigns in a rematch to determine the #1 contender for Dean Ambrose's WWE Championship. So yeah, that's really cool. Main event set there, and yeah, I'll talk about that later on in the review. So then after that, we get Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Hell to the yeah. Pretty fun, solid match. What do you expect from these two? But of course, Owens went for his pop-up powerbomb, but Zayn countered into a roll-up to get the win, which I always love. I think Sami Zayn's like the king of the roll-up now. That's awesome. So Sami Zayn got the win in a pretty fun match, and he's on the ramp, and he's having fun, celebrating. And then Owens just runs over, kicks the shit out of him, and then they have this big brawl all over the arena, and yeah, and they end up going to the back. And then we go back to commercial break, and they're still fighting in the backstage area. And then referees like holding Owens and Zayn back, and they eventually get pulled apart and they settle down. So it's obvious the feud between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is just not going to end. They just plain hate each other. I don't know if they're going to continue on with their feud at Battleground, or maybe the draft is going to determine where they go, but we're just going to have to wait and see what will happen between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Should be very interesting. And then right after that, for some reason, we get Big Johnny. John Laurinaitis comes out, for fuck's sake, in his bloody bright red suit. And, you know, he says, "My name is Mr. John Laurinaitis, the former Executive Vice President of Talent Relations, former Raw and SmackDown," you know, and all that. And then Shane's like, "Look, buddy, yeah, you're not going to be running for Raw and SmackDown. That's going to be me. We don't want a corporate yes man running the show. And we need someone from the new era. And it won't be you or Stephanie. It will be me, Shane O'Mac." And so, you know, Laurinaitis says, "Oh, you don't know. You can run SmackDown and I can run Raw." And he runs over to the Raw podium. And that Shane's like, "Mate, you're embarrassing yourself here." And Laurinaitis just screams out, "People power! People power!" Oh, man. I miss John Laurinaitis. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck him. Yeah, didn't like John Cena send him packing or whatever. So, yeah, and he had that stupid match against Cena at Over the Limit. Fuck, that was dumb. And then we get to Enzo and Big Cass, right as Shane's escorting Johnny out of the arena. And pretty much Enzo says, "If I had a dime for every time John Laurinaitis opened his mouth and said something relevant, I'd have 0 dimes." So that was pretty cool. And he had like something on the back saying 0 dimes. And then they do the SAWFT soft bit. And then they have a match against the Vaudevillains, which they win in a typical fun match. So yeah, always nice to see Enzo and Big Cass go out there and kick somebody's ass and talk some crap while doing it. So then we get to AJ Styles on his way to the ring. You can tell he's happy about beating Cena last night, although it was in a dodgy fashion. And they show John Cena having AJ Styles beat last night, and then the referee's down, the whole shebang from last night. And so the crowd starts chanting his name and like, "Hey, I'm pretty happy. He wished I could be the same. I should be happy, but I've envisioned this win against John Cena for so long, and the club just kind of ruined that thing for me. So I really want Anderson and Gallows to apologize to me." You can tell he's very sincere. No, he doesn't give a shit. He's happy he beat Cena. He doesn't care what way. And so Anderson and Gallows come out, and so I was like, "Okay, I want you to apologize to me, okay?" And they're like, "Okay, we're sorry, AJ," and all that. And so AJ Styles then says, "I want Cena to come out and accept my apology." So Cena comes out, typical mixed reaction as usual. And Cena says he doesn't need an apology. He said, "You had a contract and you broke it." And then Gallows says, "Hey, it's not Star's fault. He had no idea we were going to come out there." And then they did not, and they took advantage of the fact. And so Anderson makes, you know, sound very sincere and all that. And that they're fighting to survive in WWE. Styles desperately need the win any needs necessary. And yeah, they pretty much talk a lot. And so last night, and Styles didn't prove that he had the balls to beat him properly. And Styles is not happy about it and says, "You know what? I'm going to have a member of the club do Cena a favor," and all that. So he says, "You can pick anyone from the club you can face." And then Cena says, "Doesn't matter to me." And they're really riding high off his win and feeling good about the apology. And, you know, one will be in the ring, 2 will be at ringside and all that stuff. So then AJ said, you know, he can't wrestle because he's got the Stone Cold podcast. And Kyle Anderson decides to face John Cena. Of course, Cena wins, but by disqualification. He hit the attitude adjustment and he goes to cover Anderson. And he just got one punch in and the club attacks him. And that's how we ended it. And I thought, oh, someone's going to interfere or something. But nah, Gallows and Anderson beat up Cena, and then AJ does some stuff and with the Styles clash, and yeah, that's how we ended that segment. Really liking the feud between AJ and Cena. I know they're going to have another match in Battleground, and I'm pretty sure Cena is going to win that match because we all know how these matches go. We get a backstage segment with Seth Rollins. JoJo's interviewing him. She mentions that he's faced Roman Reigns to face Dean Ambrose at Battleground and all that. And he says last night was about proving things. When he beat Reigns, he proved he was the best and he never deserved the belt. And, you know, Ambrose snuck up behind him, hit him with the briefcase and proved he was like a little cockroach and a thief. And if he has to prove it again, he will. And, yeah. So very passionate promo by Seth Rollins. Then we get Renee Young talking with Becky Lynch, and, you know, she's a bit crushed from having, Natalya backstab her, and, she mentions how Paige, Charlotte, and now Natty have turned her back on her, and she's sick and tired of people, just turning their back on her and all that, and that she doesn't care about that anymore. There are no second chances. One strike, you're out. And then Natalya attacks her from behind and beats her up and says how she liked her answer and walks off. So yeah, the feud between Becky and Natalya should be pretty cool. I expect a really good match between the two ladies sometime in the future, maybe at Battleground. Then we get to Zack Ryder versus Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin beats my boy Zack Ryder. Hooray. And then we get Paige being interviewed by Renee Young backstage. But Charlotte and Dana Brooke are also around that area and gets distracted. And then Paige says Charlotte can never let anyone have the spotlight. And then Dana says, look, last week was my bad and all that. And so Charlotte says when it's Team PCB split, she's sunk like the Titanic and all that. And then Paige says when she beats her tonight, it'll all fall on Charlotte. So yeah, we get the Women's Championship match between Paige and Charlotte. This was pretty decent, Paige did very well in this match as usual, but Charlotte kicked Paige in the back of the head, catched her with the natural selection, won and retained the title, and so they beat up Paige for a little bit until the boss, Sasha Banks, comes out, big pop from the crowd, and then she takes out Dana, beats up everyone, and then helps out Paige, and she holds up the title, allowing Charlotte to have it back. So yeah, we're getting a Charlotte versus Sasha Banks feud, which is awesome. But then again, there's that dynamic with Paige involved, so maybe a triple threat, who knows? But we're going to have to wait and see. Maybe those two will have a number one contendership match on Raw, and Sasha will probably win. It'll be very interesting to see. And then we get the Wyatt family making their return, which they announced on the show, which I wasn't really, fond of. I feel like they should have made it a surprise, so it could be really cool, But it doesn't matter. Seeing the Wyatt family back was fucking awesome. And Wyatt asked if they missed him, and then they've been locked away and punished, but through it all, they've never forgotten what they stand for, and that this is a promise as much as there's a warning, and that the Wyatt family are as strong as they ever be until, oh, Brother Bray, don't you dare be sour! New Day comes out to confront the Wyatt family, and so they talk a bit of smack about the Wyatt family, and then Bray Wyatt come out and says, I hope you understand what you've done. You've just made the biggest mistake of your life. New Day falls. So New Day versus Wyatt family, holy shit. I honestly think that will be pretty fucking awesome. To see those two teams go at it in a six-man tag. I feel like it might be a Shield versus Wyatt's match. I want those two teams to just go at it and just kill each other. It will be fantastic. Then we get another Darren Young, Bob Backlund segment, sick. Then we get Rusev versus Titus O'Neil in a non-title match. And Titus O'Neil says it's not about the championship or winning or losing. It's about getting back at Rusev for disrespecting his family. And we never ended up getting the match because Titus O'Neil just unleashed on Rusev. Rusev just escapes, and Titus O'Neil stands strong. So yeah, we get the Miz and Maurice on the set of Marine 5, pretty much talking about how they can't be there and they pissed off someone, so yeah. Then we get Chris Jericho, where he's not in a happy mood in Shane McMahon's office, and Jericho says he knows what Shane has it out for him. He's never liked him in the 15 years he's known him, and that he can beat him said he beat Dean Ambrose on SmackDown, he should have a number one contendership, and he had 69 tacks in his body, and he calls him a stupid idiot because that's what Jericho does best. And Shane's like, I'm pretty sure you shouldn't be calling me an idiot because I could be running this place soon. And so Jericho says if he keeps making decisions like he does, he won't be. Shane asks him what would happen if he does. Shane lets him have the office and then walks out. So, so interesting segment between Jericho and Shane. I don't know what Jericho's going to be up to now since he's out of the Money in the Bank ladder match. He goes on to face someone else, maybe like a Cesaro. Was Cesaro even on this show? I don't think he was. Then we get to the number one contendership match for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns in a great match. These two guys pretty much put it all out there. Really good stuff. and then they all faced on the outside, and they beat up each other near the announce table, and it ended up becoming a double count out while Dean Ambrose was on commentary. And Dean's like, oh, what the fuck, and Roman and Seth are both knackered because they might think their shot is fucked up. And then Shane McMahon comes out. It's like, hey, we need a number one contender at Battleground. And Dean's like, you know what? I'll face both of them if I have to in the same night. And says, you know what? That's a good idea. How about we have a triple threat for the world title at Battleground? We're getting the motherfucking match at Battleground. Hell yes. Oh my god. I want to have SummerSlam, but who gives a shit? We're getting the match anyway. Super, super awesome. And then he looks at both men on the ground. Reigns grabs him, turning him around, but Ambrose immediately lays him out. Dirty deeds. Picks up the title. Rollins looks stunned. Rollins grabs Reigns. Then Ambrose runs back into the ring, hits the dirty deeds on him, and then he stands at the commentary table, holds up the world title. So, yeah, that's how we end the show. Very enjoyable show. It was a bit down on some moments, but most of the stuff had meaning, and it will build up to a great Battleground pay-per-view I'm hoping for. The stuff involving Ambrose as champion is pretty awesome so far. AJ versus Cena is probably going to continue. Zayn versus Owens might happen, but some of the stuff at Battleground, we're not really sure. And then again, you have to mention, Roman Reigns has now been suspended for 30 days, so what does that mean for him and the build-up to the triple threat match at Battleground? I think his 30-day suspension does finish like 2 or 3 days before the Battleground pay-per-view, so I still think he can make it. But it's going to be very interesting how they do this build-up to the triple threat now that the big top suspended dog is now not in the WWE for now. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting how things kind of evolve in WWE. And, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below what you thought of this episode of Raw. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. Twitter and Instagram is at JackAndMayLove31 if you want to check me out there. Check out my fellow Bullshit Club members, Campbell and Billy. Their links will be in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I am out in 3, 2, 1.